And then we had Nikki Haley, Matt, head to the United Nations because she's the UN ambassador, which would make sense for her to go there. But note, there's a couple of things we'll preface this with. One, we know the Trump administration has basically said we don't care about the UN anymore. And to the extent that the U.S. can keep the UN at arm's length and cut back on its funding, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing, some attempts to make it sort of just difficult for diplomats down the road. Nikki Haley is probably about as far down on the list of relevance as you can get, seems to me, within the cabinet. But here she is chastising Russia, of all countries.
I consider it unfortunate that the occasion of my first appearance here is one in which I must condemn the aggressive actions of Russia. It is unfortunate because it is a replay of far too many instances over many years in which United States representatives have needed to do that. It should not have to be that way. We do want to better our relations with Russia. However, the dire situation in eastern Ukraine is one that demands clear and strong condemnation of Russian actions. The sudden increase in fighting in eastern Ukraine has trapped thousands of civilians and destroyed vital infrastructure. And the crisis is spreading, endangering many thousands more. This escalation of violence must stop. The United States stands with the people of Ukraine, who have suffered for nearly 3 years under Russian occupation and military intervention. Until Russia and the separatists it supports respect Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, this crisis will continue. Eastern Ukraine, of course, is not the only part of the country suffering because of Russia's aggressive actions. The United States continues to condemn and call for an immediate end to the Russian occupation of Crimea. Crimea is a part of Ukraine. Our Crimea-related sanctions will remain in place until Russia returns control over the peninsula to Ukraine.
There's a couple of things that occur to me when I hear this. One is that they really don't want people to talk about this botched operation in Yemen. We'll talk a little bit about it with Cliff. But I think, too, is just you've got Putin saying, like, I give you a little room, too.
It is okay. You send brown girl with curry name out, and she will say we are doing bad thing. I think it is okay. Are you sure? But you're not doing a bad thing. It's a good thing, right? No, it is a strategy, you stupid man.
Donald, don't worry. Do what I say.
It's complicated. It is okay. By the way, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ratings are terrible. Am I right?
I mean, I think, it was interesting at the end there. She said that the sanctions were going to remain in place while they remain on the peninsula. But I wonder if there isn't a little wiggle room there, and if she's really the person who makes these policies.
She is Indian governor girl who cock husband. Make her go to UN.
So it's interesting, Joe, though, that they're making an issue of this, I think. And then, of course, I can't wait for her to get tweeted at by being, a new McCarthyite.
Yeah, that's really what you should focus on.
But I mean,
no
I
worse
guess
than anything Samantha Power did.
We'll remember this and see where it goes. Now, of course, the flip side is the Congress just rolled back the regulations on bribing foreign governments if you're an oil or a mining company. So Russia's got that going for them. Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Subscribe.